All right, y'all, it is the end of, I guess, week 6 for us of this COVID-19 shutdown. And even though I watched a video yesterday for like marketing our business, and it said that this is exactly what I shouldn't be doing as far as standing in front of a screen and video to you all, like it should be much more professional. This is who we are, and this is who Dad and I have always been, and so it just made sense for me to keep it this way. I think there's something genuine about seeing the people who are talking to you, so that's kind of the way that I have always done this. And so anyways, yes, I'm staring into the sun because I feel like my beautiful dogwood is a better background than the field beside me. So I don't know, I was just gonna give an update. I know like I have family that sees this, friends that sees this, and my 2 cents. And so it's easier for me to process this through nature and through just some of the things that I see in my yard. It just helps me connect. And so I think maybe last week I mentioned we got a pretty good freeze here this past week. Yes, my yard needs mowing. It's totally fine. I believe in showing our imperfections. And one of the things, and I think I've actually, so my Japanese maple was like coming out absolutely beautiful before the freeze, and you can see it got hit pretty good. There's not a whole lot I can do about this right now. It's just gonna need to rejuvenate itself. Some of my other plants I can actually go through, like my holly. You can see, I guess, kind of these black tips are kind of where it got frosted, or there was the freeze, and a lot of those I've actually trimmed on back. And so this will actually, as it warms up, it'll send up new growth. The same thing with my Nandina bushes. You can kind of see that there's some still like brown where all the new growth had gotten hit, but I just went through and trimmed it out, and it's fine. My dogwoods were actually a little bit later blooming, and so they didn't get hit as hard, which is awesome, because as my backyard got hit, these actually have continued to bloom and be beautiful. My boxwoods got hit. You can kind of see, especially that one over there, because I don't think I've trimmed it as much. And I'll just have to go through and trim out the it's not diseased, but it got hit by the frost and the freeze. And so I'll have to go through and trim that out. But it'll be okay. I lost a couple of my irises and had to trim them back. I didn't lose them, but you can see the blooms on them, they didn't quite make it. But that'll be okay. They'll come back out. But some of the things that I'm super excited about that didn't get hit or are starting to show their beautiful little heads a little bit more are my hostas. And you can see one down there on the end is kind of just actually finally starting to peek up. And then the kids a couple of weeks ago planted some bulbs, and so I'm going to go show you those because we really hadn't seen any life on them, but they're actually kind of starting to do so. Another cool thing that helps me is just like knowing that the cycle of life's kind of going on, right? So we're seeing lots of robin's eggs, and lots of birds' nests. One of Lizzie's favorite things to do, and I will have to probably let her do this for you, but we've started feeding the birds, and so she will come out in the yard and she'll go, "Buds, buds, come here, buds." And so we call the birds.
They're here.
They're not here. Can you call them again?
Buds.
How do you call the buds?
Hey.
Where are they at?
Up there.
Up there?
Yeah.
Where's our bird feeders at?
There.
Can I go show our bird feeders off? And what do you do when we feed the birds?
Eat.
They eat?
Yeah.
Where's one of our bird feeders?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Where is it? Uh-oh, we need some more bird food, don't we? My little garden is doing okay. I think I'm actually getting ready to come through and plant some more things in the second bed that I've gotten ready. As warm as it's getting, I'm getting ready to take these guys off from insulating them. So that we've been trying to figure out what to do with this space for a really long time. There again, you can see my boxwoods. They need a little love. I'll get to it. It's fine. They're pretty resilient, so I'm not going to mess with them too much. This was a tree we planted, I guess a couple of years ago, mainly because we sold my Uncle Lonnie's house, and it had a serviceberry tree in front of it. And so I no longer, well, my grandma's house I can go pick serviceberries at, but this was one of those, like, we pretend to be like just indigenous people, and we go and pick wild berries and like pretend that we're just on homesteading. So anyways, one of the things I was saying that I was super excited about is the kids planted some bulbs a couple of weeks ago, and we really haven't seen them come up too much, and I've been trying to be careful not to spray them, but they're starting to come up. Like, they're starting to show signs of life, and that there again is just, for me, kind of a rejuvenation of life, of my soul. My tree, my Winter King hawthorn here, that didn't have any blooms a couple of weeks ago, is blooming, starting to bloom now. So even though, for instance, my Jane Magnolia, which was blooming a couple of weeks ago, got hit pretty good in the freeze, it's got some new blooms coming out. And so it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. And I think that's just a metaphor for me that, like, my plants are gonna be okay. My yard's gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. So I would encourage you while you can, while it's pretty today. I think we're supposed to start getting some rain maybe around noon or so, but we're getting out. We're gonna get active this morning so that we can be outdoors and enjoy the outdoors while we can. I'm gonna try and go through the next couple of weeks and I guess maybe like make some videos about yard advice. So if you have questions, I would love to know what those are. Whether it's from how to take care of perennials, landscaping tips, just whatever, or like top 5 plants, I don't know. But I'd be totally interested in making something to be helpful for you, because that's when I guess it helps me cope. So I would love to do that for you. So looking for suggestions of what are things you want to know about your yard or your home that I can help give you suggestions for. You can drop them in the comments, you can PM me, you can text me, whatever. I would love to help. Thanks.